The true fighter doesn't seek fame, but strives to conquer her own spirit. Sigma females aren't a new concept. They've been around since the olden days and still thrive in our modern era. They mix age-old wisdom with today's toughness, gaining strength from historical lessons while skillfully handling today's complex scenarios. Society often tries to slot women into specific roles, but Sigma females boldly make their own way without excuses or compromises, like the knowledgeable women of ancient times who controlled their fates. Sigma females defy norms and follow their unique principles. They know that real strength isn't about others' approval, but comes from within. From the silent fortitude of ancient fighters to the thoughtful depth of old philosophers, Sigma females inherit a tradition of self-sufficiency, resilience, and profound insight. They aren't swayed by passing fashions or people's praise. They focus on refining themselves, enhancing their intellect, and maintaining stability as the world changes around them. In today's society, Sigma females extend this tradition, showing that true freedom and power aren't limited by time. They are shaped not by their situations, but by their capacity to adjust, improve, and prosper. No matter what obstacles come, you, as a Sigma female, hold the same reserved strength and richness as those who came before you. Trust your instincts, cherish your journey, and remember that, like the women of the past, your resilience will endure through time. Let's begin. Number 1. They think in long stretches, not just moments. While many people are fixated on the present, chasing the latest trends and reacting quickly to everything around them, Sigmas operate differently. They view life through a wider lens, identifying patterns that go unnoticed by most. They don't just think about today or tomorrow. They think about long periods, spanning decades or even centuries. A Sigma isn't bothered by temporary wins or small troubles. He understands that what seems important now might be irrelevant later, and what appears to be a defeat today could lead to greater achievements ahead. This approach keeps him steady while others are overwhelmed, attentive while others are easily sidetracked, and thoughtful while others act without thinking. He grasps the lessons from history, recognizing the cycles and tendencies in human behavior that many simply repeat unknowingly. This perspective shields him from being easily swayed. He isn't tempted by fleeting advertisements, isn't guided by fleeting social media fads, and doesn't let other people's emotional reactions affect his decisions. He's in it for the long haul. That's why Sigmas mature gracefully. While others quickly exhaust themselves pursuing instant gratification or approval, Sigmas are slowly building enduring values, knowledge, expertise, financial independence, and emotional strength. They don't seek immediate praise. They are preparing their future selves for enduring success. A Sigma knows life is not about winning minor skirmishes. It's about conquering in the grand scheme of things. And the only way to do this is to look well beyond the immediate, what's directly in front of you, and what society pressures you to prioritize. Number 2, they stand on their own. Similar to reclusive monks of old or today's pioneering entrepreneurs, true power isn't about how many people you lead. It's about how independent you are from them, and Sigmas need very little from anyone else. Throughout history, the most autonomous individuals were those who could detach themselves, solitary monks finding wisdom in solitude, lone warriors perfecting their skills, clever observers operating from the sidelines. These figures shared a common trait. They didn't let societal norms dictate their actions. They realized that genuine power comes from self-mastery before interacting with the world. Sigmas of today follow this principle, though their arenas have evolved. Rather than remote retreats or secluded dojos, they forge their domains within the digital and intellectual realms. In a world that pushes men to conform, follow rules and integrate into preset paths, Sigmas forge their own way. They create lives based on personal terms, often through self-established careers, direct income sources, and specialized skills that make them indispensable yet unreachable. A Sigma doesn't depend on a company for his livelihood. He isn't defined by passing trends or seeks validation from the masses. He embodies independence of thought, action, and presence. He chooses solitude when necessary, not out of fear of others, but to avoid being swayed by them. This doesn't mean Sigmas are detached or unfriendly. They interact with the world on their conditions, aligning as allies when they choose, competitors when needed, and disappearing when it benefits them. While others are confined by systems designed to restrain them, Sigmas navigate freely because they have constructed their own paths. That is the essence of being self-sovereign. Number 3. They are experts in strategically vanishing. Most people crave to be noticed. They seek approval, praise, and a false sense of importance. They share every thought, action, every triumph and setback, thinking that being visible means they are powerful. But Sigmas know better. They realize something important that few people understand. Real strength doesn't come from being seen everywhere. It comes from knowing when to step away. They are skilled in knowing when to take a step back, to remove themselves from situations, people, or places when it helps their personal growth, safety, or gives them an advantage. This isn't about being scared or avoiding things. It's about having control. In the past, the most respected warriors, like the samurai and solo sword fighters, would disappear to perfect their skills and return stronger. Throughout history, strategists and spies worked best from the shadows, influencing events secretly rather than being in the limelight. Today, modern hackers, independent thinkers, and top entrepreneurs do the same by staying under the radar, unseen but incredibly influential. Sigmas don't vanish because they are weak. They vanish because they choose to. When a situation stops being beneficial, they leave immediately. When they detect a trap in relationships, business, or society, they step away before getting caught. When they need time to sharpen their thinking, refocus, or prepare for what's next, they go into solitude, completely out of reach. And when they come back, they are changed, more intelligent, more focused, more formidable. People often overlook those who are quiet, those who don't always make themselves known. But this is precisely why Sigmas have an edge. They are never predictable, never fully understood, and never driven by a need to be seen. To move unseen is to move freely. To vanish on your own terms is to stay safe. And a Sigma knows exactly when to pull back and when to reappear. Number 4. They understand the language of symbols, not just words. Most people accept things as they appear. They listen to words, see images, and take them at face value. But Sigmas see the deeper layers. They don't just listen to what is said. They interpret what is meant. They don't just watch events happen. They examine the patterns that lead to them. In the past, knowledge wasn't freely shared. It was concealed in myths, symbols, and stories. The wise knew that true understanding isn't handed over easily. It's gained through effort. The ancient Egyptians used hieroglyphs. The Stoics expressed wisdom through paradoxes. Samurai communicated with subtle signals. Only those with the patience and intelligence to dig deeper could uncover the truth. Sigmas naturally think this way. They analyze what most take for granted. When they watch the news, they don't just listen. They question what isn't being said. When they hear someone talk, they pay more attention to the tone, body language, and underlying intentions rather than just the words. When society promotes a new trend, ideology, or crisis, they don't react impulsively or follow without thinking. They step back and consider who benefits from it. This skill shields them from being manipulated. Whether it's ancient rulers using propaganda or modern influencers pushing illusions, Sigmas see through it all. They aren't easily deceived because they know that much of what is presented as truth is really just a carefully constructed story. A Sigma's mind is designed for deep analysis. He doesn't just absorb information, he dissects it. And in a world full of deception, this makes him impervious. Number 5. They go alone but are never lonely. Many people fear being by themselves. They pack their days with sounds, messages, alerts, and social gatherings, anything to keep away the quietness of being alone. They believe being alone means being lonely, as though their worth is tied to how many people are there to acknowledge them. But Sigmas, they know something special. Solitude isn't something bad. It's a place of peace. Throughout history, the strongest leaders were often those who valued solitude. The warrior preparing his weapons at the break of day, the thinker pondering deep questions on his own, the wise person stepping away from the crowd to find clearer thoughts. They realized that solitude was a chance to build inner strength and escape the noise of the world. Sigmas bring this old wisdom into today's world. While others seek endless social approval, Sigmas are at ease by themselves. They don't need others to see, listen to, or endorse them. Instead, they find joy in their own ideas, their own advancements, their own aims. Thinking deeply about themselves becomes their tool, self-betterment their goal. They use quiet moments to plan, set objectives, and adjust their course. They develop interests, refine abilities, and dive into learning. Where others might feel left out, Sigmas discover a deep and lasting peace. They choose to be alone, not out of necessity, but by choice. And the interesting part? This independence enriches their connections with others. When a Sigma does form a bond, it's genuine and significant, free from the unhealthy dependency of those who dread solitude. Their bonds are based on mutual respect, not neediness. In a society obsessed with getting attention, a Sigma's ease with solitude stands out as both defiance and shelter. They don't rely on the world for their self-worth, and this makes them unbreakable. They are alone, but never lonely, because their self-esteem comes from within, not from the masses. Number 6. They change without losing themselves. The world is always changing. Trends come and go. Rules switch in an instant. Many people either fight change until they are overcome by it, or they adapt so much that they lose their identity. But Sigmas, they grow without forgetting who they are. The wisest figures in history, like Marcus Aurelius and Miyamoto Musashi, lived through turbulent times. They faced wars, betrayals, and changes in power. But rather than getting overwhelmed, they adapted. They learned, they made adjustments, but they kept their core values. Marcus Aurelius led an empire through turmoil, but never left behind his stoic beliefs. Musashi went from a solitary fighter to a renowned tactician, but he never gave up his warrior ethos. Sigmas embody this same toughness. They aren't trapped in yesterday, nor are they mere followers of today. They watch, they assess, and they adapt, but they never betray themselves. In today's world, where people constantly change to fit in, Sigmas stay firm. When society pushes them to blend in, they know how to mix without losing themselves. When the economy changes, they discover new paths to success without giving up their autonomy. When relationships challenge their limits, They evolve without compromising their principles. This capacity makes them formidable. The world expects people to either give in or oppose without thought. Sigmas do neither. They alter their tactics, not their essence. They play the game, but they don't become the game. That's why they thrive where others fail. While the frail fall apart during change, Sigmas stand strong, adjusting to challenges, but never altering their true nature. Number 7. They are like shadows of systems, both old and modern. Many crave recognition. They want their names highlighted, faces known, and their achievements officially recognized. But Sigmas prefer to work quietly. In the days of old, power wasn't only in the hands of kings and military leaders. There were warriors, spies, and masterminds who worked unseen. Independent samurai, secretive ninjas, and wise philosophers, all influential without ever seeking to rule. They knew that real power doesn't come from being invisible, but from being in control. Sigmas exhibit this same unseen influence today. They don't run after positions of authority, yet they naturally earn respect. They don't look for approval, yet their impact is profound. Whether they're navigating the corporate world, the financial sector, or online environments, they operate just on the fringe, using the system without being ensnared by it. In their careers, they steer clear of workplace dramas, often opting for self-employment or remote jobs where they report to no one. In finance, they make smart moves, investing, trading, or creating wealth. While others pursue regular salaries, Sigmas establish enduring legacies. Online, they watch and gather data quietly, avoiding the overt display of social media. This isn't about being isolated. It's about strategic invisibility. They know once you're in the spotlight, you face expectations, criticism, and manipulation. By keeping a low profile, they stay beyond reach. While many seek the limelight, Sigmas manipulate things from behind the scenes. They don't need visibility or applause. They just need to succeed. Number 8. They know that true freedom is always fought for personally. Freedom has never simply been handed out. It isn't a privilege distributed by leaders or governments, nor is it a legacy shared among people. True freedom is always hard-won, through effort, sacrifice, and strong personal determination. Sigmas grasp this more than anyone. From historic uprisings against tyrannical regimes to contemporary pushes against corporate and social boundaries, history is filled with instances where freedom was seized, not given. Whether it was revolutionaries battling for sovereignty or individuals shaping lives away from institutional control, the journey to independence has always been paved with defiance and perseverance. Sigmas don't wait for permission to live as they wish. They don't rely on external authorities for their freedom. They craft it themselves with their own actions, decisions, and attitudes. They realize that true independence stems from self-sufficiency, creating careers independent of others' approvals, acquiring skills that set them apart, and investing smartly to secure financial freedom. But it's not just about wealth or influence. Sigmas also safeguard their mental freedom. They aren't bound by societal norms or others' judgments. They don't seek constant validation, nor do they indulge in short-lived joys. Instead, they cultivate their own tranquility, unaffected by the external chaos and noise. This is what makes Sigmas truly unstoppable. The world may try to categorize them, define them, or push them into preset roles, but they resist being limited. They understand that freedom isn't granted, it's fought for and achieved, choice by choice. Number 9. They aren't afraid of system failures, they get ready for them. It's a well-known fact that all things end eventually. Great empires fall apart, economies break down, and social structures shift unpredictably. Today's wealthy and powerful might seem untouchable, but their fortune depends on delicate systems that can fall apart easily. Sigmas stand out because they don't fear the breakdown of systems. They prepare for it. From ancient Rome's decline to the crashing of modern financial markets, change has been a constant. What's stable today might be destroyed tomorrow. Surviving isn't about fighting against change, but about expecting it and adapting in advance. Sigmas recognize the flaws in the systems they live in. They notice the weaknesses, and rather than worry, they create their own safety plans. Being financially independent is a big part of this preparation. Sigmas don't depend solely on one job or employer. They spread out their resources, improve their skills, and always stay prepared. When the economy takes a downturn or jobs become scarce, they're ready, able to maintain their lifestyle despite any turmoil. But financial security isn't everything. Sigmas also strengthen their mental resilience. They don't base their self-worth or stability on external factors. Their internal strength is their true support. They are not weakened by changes in society. Instead, they find opportunities in these uncertain times, flourishing where others might see only ruin. While others may panic in the face of collapsing systems, Sigmas remain calm, organized, and ready. They view the world not as a threat, but as a challenge to be approached with smart strategies, flexibility, and toughness. That's why they don't just survive. They thrive, no matter what comes. Number 10. They live beyond the traps of dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. While many people are caught up in remembering the past or fretting over the future, Sigmas stay out of this stressful cycle. They don't dwell on past mistakes or future worries. Instead, they master living in the moment, learning from the past without being stuck in it, and planning for the future without anxiety overwhelming them. Often, people miss the good old days, always comparing now to a past that seemed better, which might not have even been real. Others are consumed by fears of what the future might bring, anxious about missed chances or potential risks. These worries can waste valuable time and cloud one's mind. Sigmas avoid this trap. They acknowledge the lessons of history, but don't let them dictate their actions. They learn from past errors without letting them weigh them down. They gather insights from history without being trapped by it. Likewise, Sigmas don't obsess over future possibilities. They don't worry about potential problems far down the line. Instead of being driven by fear or unrealistic hopes, they concentrate on the present, taking active steps towards a future they themselves are shaping. Their belief in their power to influence the future liberates them from anxiety and uncertainty. What makes Sigmas remarkable is their ability to remain fully engaged in the present while balancing knowledge of the past and insight into the future. They aren't haunted by their past losses or what they might achieve. They realize that real strength is found in the now, being focused, purposeful, and present, while continuously moving forward with clear and deliberate intent. Number 11. They are the ultimate adapters, experts at fitting in without giving up who they are. Long ago, warriors needed to blend into different environments. Whether sneaking into enemy territory or gathering secrets under the cover of night, they changed their appearance and behavior to fit in while still keeping their identity and goals. Sigmas take this ancient skill and apply it to today's world, becoming experts at adapting to different situations instead of just following the crowd. Whether they're dealing with company leaders, surfing the internet, or hanging out at parties, Sigmas know how to fit in smoothly without becoming just another face in the crowd. In the business world, for instance, where power can change hands rapidly, Sigmas navigate through meetings and projects with a keen ability to understand the dynamics of the room. They know whom to pay attention to, whom to persuade, and when to step aside. But here's the important part. While they watch and adapt, they never lose their true selves. Unlike some who get lost in the group or turn into simple cogs in a larger machine, Sigmas use their ability to adapt as a strength, not as a cage. On social media, in online spaces, or even in small groups, Sigmas manage to adjust their behavior to suit different settings. But unlike others who change themselves just to be liked, Sigmas stay genuine. They don't change who they are to fit in. They adjust the situation to suit their strategic needs, whether that's to make a statement, sway others, or keep a low profile. Sigmas are masters at changing their approach, never stuck to one role or expectation, but constantly tweaking how they interact with the world with skill. They act with intention, knowing that the ability to adapt isn't about blending in. It's about being in control of every space they enter, all while remaining true to themselves. Number 12. They harness the power of quiet influence. Most people think that to influence others, you must be loud and everywhere. But Sigmas know the strength of quiet influence. They don't need to shout to be heard or be in the spotlight to make an impact. Their actions speak louder than their words. In history, the most impactful figures often worked behind the scenes, guiding events without seeking fame. Today, Sigmas use this quiet influence to shape their environments subtly but powerfully. They share their insights when necessary, offering wisdom that resonates deeply and encourages others to think differently. Their influence grows, not because they seek followers, but because they offer value that others naturally want to follow. This quiet power allows them to lead without coercion. They inspire change not through force, but through example. By staying true to their values and demonstrating their principles in action, they influence those around them to strive for better, think deeper, and act with integrity. Number 13. They cultivate resilience as a daily practice. While many are overwhelmed by life's challenges, Sigmas thrive because they see obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger. They don't avoid difficulties, they engage with them directly, building resilience with each challenge faced. From ancient Stoics to modern thinkers, those who embraced hardships developed an unmatched inner strength. Sigmas understand that life's struggles are not just to be endured, but to be used as tools for personal development. They wake up each day ready to face whatever comes with a calm determination. By approaching life as a continuous learning experience, Sigmas turn every setback into a stepping stone. This daily practice of resilience ensures that no matter what happens, they remain unshaken. Their ability to adapt and overcome keeps them steady and powerful in a world that is constantly changing. In cultivating resilience, they not only prepare themselves for the unexpected, but also inspire those around them to embrace life's challenges with courage and optimism. This makes them not only survivors, but leaders in their own right, guiding others through storms with wisdom and confidence. To wrap it up, Sigmas have always been a part of history, existing in their unique way across time. From the brave warriors, deep thinkers, and wise people of ancient times who followed their own paths without looking for approval, to today's individuals who choose their own unique journeys instead of following the crowd, Sigmas combine tradition with modernity. They hold on to the wisdom from long ago while living fully in today's world, and they believe they can shape what comes next. You aren't influenced by passing fads or shallow praise. You view the world with clear insight, just like the trailblazers before you, and you aren't distracted by fleeting attractions or false promises. You prioritize true skill and inner peace over temporary comforts or joys, because you know true strength is internal, and the most powerful forces are those that are quiet yet persistent. You have the soul of someone from the past and the spirit of a contemporary leader, steering your life with focus, confidence, and truthfulness. Whether you're dealing with today's challenges or drawing lessons from the past, you know how to move through life while staying true to yourself. You set your own guidelines, and by doing this, you keep rising, just like the greats of the past. Keep in mind, Sigmas are shaped not by their situations, but by their ability to adjust, change, and excel, no matter the setting. You are both timeless and current, because you embody the best of both worlds. Continue on your path, because the world benefits from what you offer: quiet strength, continuous improvement, and the wisdom gained from choosing your own way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.